We going live. How everybody doing? Hey ho, it's me, buddy. That's hella funny. Oh yeah. Okay, someone in here. Yeah, join the live. What's good with y'all? We got the peoples in here. Julian.
What's up? What's up, man?
What's good with you?
My boy, Kash.
What's up with it?
Hey, man. I'm happy to see you.
Yeah, man. I'm happy to see you too, man.
So
we
tell me, how are you doing? How are you doing today, man?
Oh yeah, we got 1,000 people up here. I appreciate the love and support from everybody. So, yeah, how you doing today?
I'm doing extravagant, brother.
Okay, cool. All right, well, shit. Let's get into these questions, man, because I like getting straight to the point. So, how did you come up with this idea?
Well,
wait, before you do that, let everybody know, like, for the people that don't know, that follow me, who you are and what you've done and why you're getting interviewed.
For sure. So my name is Julian Brown, and I created a device that uses microwave technology to turn plastic waste into fuel. Fuels that run our world, like gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel. Right now, I'm being interviewed by my brother Kash here because he truly believes in this technology and truly believes that what's being done in our oceans, what's being done in our world, it deserves. We need justice for what's being done, and he truly believes in what I'm doing. And I very much appreciate you for taking the time today to interview me here, brother. So thank you.
Oh yeah, it's good. It's good, man.
So, thank you again. Yeah, we can get on with the questions.
Okay, cool. Perfect. So, when did you come up with this idea?
So, I came up with this idea when I was 17 years old, a senior in high school. What it was is I was in a welding program, my junior, senior year of high school, right? And being in that welding program, of course, I learned how to weld, which is when you learn how to build with metal. And I've always been an environmentalist my whole life, always been into nature. And I always knew the plastic problem and how they always talk about this plastic problem, yet never show any solutions, right? And I said, you know what? I'm tired of hearing that I'm recycling, and yet my plastic is ending up in the ocean. So I am going to do this myself. I'm going to create a method to recycle myself right here in my house. And since I have my welding experience, I looked up different ways to recycle. I found the process of pyrolysis, and I'm like, I'm going to build that because I can, because I'm a welder. I know how to. And thus, I did. I started just like that with the desire of, I want to be in control of where my trash goes. I want to truly recycle.
Okay, cool. So, is your idea, is it patent?
So I'll say it like this. Since the beginning of me starting here, I have had 4 designs. And right now, I have a patent pending on my unique 5th design, which has not been seen by the world at this time yet.
Oh, okay, that's what's up. So it is patent.
Yes, sir. Okay, what's up, cool. BJ?
So when does like a patent expire?
Yeah, patents do have lifespans on them. It's kind of, there's not really a direct answer to that because it does really depend on ultimately how much money you have, right? You can really make things, you can influence a lot of things. This, right? I got the patents on this machine for the protection of it for the world. And I say that because of this right here, right? I say that because of this. If I did not patent my machine, right, there is a chance that a company will see what I've been doing, hire the engineers, a machine of their own, and then hide and lock away the technology from the world. I patented it, so that is not a risk. Ultimately, long term, just like Nikola Tesla said, I want this to be open technology for the whole world. If you want to build a machine, you want to build one of my machines, build it. Go ahead. I encourage it, because that's how we're going to get this all over the world, in every country, in every province, and we're going
You was breaking up a little bit. Say that again.
I was saying that ultimately, getting this in every single corner of the world will set the precedence to the whole world, which will absolutely signify and remind everybody that trash, including plastic waste, is not waste. It is energy.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Okay. So my thing is, how much emissions does it emit, or does it not emit that?
That's a great question. Great question there. I get that. One of the most common questions I get are, you can make gasoline from plastic, but what are the emissions? Is it worse than gasoline? Is it going to be bad? Is it CO2? So I'll say this first of all, guys. Plastic comes from crude oil. It is a fossil fuel. There is no mistaking that. So yes, burning it will absolutely emit CO2. However, with that being said, there are many methods that we can deal with CO2, i.e. planting trees, growing algae, doing sustainable agriculture. But I will also say this, going into that point of the emissions, right? Plastic is crude oil, right? Crude oil, when it comes out from the earth, is extremely toxic when you burn it. If you burn just raw crude oil, the emissions will be absolutely disgusting to every living being around it. And yet, when we take that same crude oil, which is so toxic, put it into our already existing technology to refine it into gasoline, diesel, all of our fuels, you can burn that fuel out in your engine, and it's okay. Why? Because we use catalytic reforming and filters and all types of different chemical methods to deal with these toxic things within it. And so what I'm saying is, when I get my oil from my machines, we can put it through these same refiners which already exist and get it completely cleaned up to the point where after it comes out of your engine and out of the catalytic converter, the only emissions are pretty much CO2 and water vapor. And like I said before, we can deal with CO2.
BJ asks, did we figure out how much money comes
Oh, yes, we did,
per?
BJ.
Yeah.
So,
There you go. Per pound of plastic.
so if we were to take all the plastic in the ocean, right? Because it's a very large number. I forget the exact number. Let me pull it up right here. How many pounds of plastic in the ocean? So currently, as it sits, there's about 199 million tons of plastic in the ocean. If we were to convert all that plastic into oil, that would be worth $84 billion. That is 1.13 billion barrels of oil, which is enough oil to sustain the world's daily use of oil for over 30 years.
Okay. So you're saying that small businesses can make huge profits off using your invention?
Absolutely, because my invention is a very efficient way to do this process. A very extremely efficient way. This process of pyrolysis, of turning things, of breaking things down in the absence of oxygen to turn them into fuel, has been around since the dawn of time. It's been studied for hundreds of years at this point. But the only reason why it's not in the market now is because of the fact that it was not efficient enough. It was not energetically or monetarily worth it. But through my machine, I will make it energetically profitable and monetarily profitable.
Perfect. Wait, I know people's like done. Are you still going?
I'm done.
I'm just looking at the comments. That's why I'm smiling. Is this a lot of love? It's a lot of love in here right now. So that's what's up. All right. So then my next question would be, since you know how much profit that it will make for you and other small businesses, and how much it would change the world, and it won't pollute the world as you're changing it, right? So what is stopping you from that goal, completing the goal of having it mass adopted?
The only thing right now between me and my fire tiger ambition and absolutely conquering the world in terms of getting rid of plastic is right now literally just money. Because this machine is very expensive technology, especially with it being new. So I'm currently on the process of raising funds to get my next machine built, my first ever industrial machine built, because I've built all 4 of my machines up to this point in my parents' backyard. And of course, we want to change the world. Got to get out of there, of course.
I mean, if you build it in your mom's backyard, that just lets everybody know that it doesn't take that much space to build this machine. So how much to get the machine the way that your brain is visualizing it? How much would that cost?
Well, for my Mark V machine, right?
Yeah.
I estimated that machine in itself will cost probably close to $100,000. But that's just the machine itself. That's not including the property space, the lab space, all those types of things.
I'm talking about like everything, like to get the vision that you see in your brain. How much would that cost?
$1 million.
$1 million.
$1 million.
Well, there you have it, folks. So everybody that's in the live, it only takes $1 million to change the whole world and get rid of oil and replace it with something that doesn't pollute the environment. And wait, does it last longer too in the car?
You know what? So I haven't tested it in myself in a car yet. I will be very, very soon, and I'm very excited for that. However, I have read research papers and I've seen videos of people online that have put it in their vehicles, and it actually does last longer in the car from the videos that I have seen.
Well, there you go. So you got oil that doesn't pollute, that lasts longer, and is cheaper, correct? Like
it's cheaper because one of the biggest expenses in crude oil, when we turn crude oil into gasoline, is all of the logistics. We have to get it from the ocean, send boats out there, the ocean, then the boats have to come back, and then they have to put it in a pipeline, then it gets to the gas, refinery, then they have to refine it, then the trucks have to then take it to the gas station. But this cuts off half of the logistics, because now all you have to do is really just bring trash, which we have trash trucks anyway, to a machine, and the oil is made right there, and it just goes to the refinery, and the refinery takes it to the pump. So we cut out half of the logistics. So therefore, as long as the machine is operating at peak efficiency, it will literally be cheaper at the pump.
No, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at the comments. Somebody said, "Young old nigga, he's smart." Who the fuck is this? I'm Boogie. They said you a young old nigga. Oh shit.
I am 20 years old.
Oh, you 20?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so yeah. So everybody out there that's saying young old nigga, he's 20 years old. So he got a lot of room for growth, Everybody in the comments, they laughing at that one. That one was hella funny. Young old nigga. Young old nigga. He's smart as fuck. He's smart. Oh no, he said smart as a bitch. That's hella funny,
I appreciate everybody's support.
So does your invention, right, like converting the plastic back into oil, right? Does it also work for jets, like private jets and helicopters and all that?
I create gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel from plastic waste. So yes.
So jet fuel, diesel, and gasoline.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So basically what you're saying is we can replace all of this oil, crude oil that's polluting the planet, with plastic. Could you do it with glass?
Glass is inorganic, meaning it doesn't come from anything living. So no. But my machine, that brings me to this next point. My machine works on every single organic product. So we can not only create energy from plastic or fuels from plastic, we can create fuels from food, from grass, from tires, from wood.
Okay, anything that's organic. So this is not organic.
No. No metals, no
Okay,
glass,
because this comes
no mineral.
from sand. That's why.
Right. And sand is
Okay,
not
so
living.
got you. Okay, cool. But isn't sand a crystal? Isn't it like a form of a crystal?
Yes, sand is a crystal, ultimately silicon dioxide, a form of silicon dioxide. However, that's an inorganic molecule. There's no organic parts, constituents within that. But let's take something like wood, right? Wood
that's
was
organic.
from a tree, which was living, so it has bonds in it, and those bonds can be broken apart. That's why you can set wood on fire and then it burns, right? So you can set plastic on fire and it burns.
No, you're right. So like this plastic pen could be turned into oil for a car. So you hear that, y'all? This right here could be turned into oil for your car, and it won't pollute the environment, and it won't pollute you, because all these cars are literally bad for your lungs, like cigarettes. Anyways, let's move forward. So I'm glad that you brought up this. You feel me? So you can't convert this.
No metal, no glass, no minerals.
You can convert this.
Right.
Okay, cool. All right, cool. So have you found a use for renewing like glass and metal?
Those things already exist in our world, fortunately.
Oh, can you break that down for us?
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll start off with glass, as you say. So glass comes from sand.
That's right.
Glass comes from sand, right? How do they make glass? Well, they have to heat up sand to make it molten, and then they stretch it out and form shapes with it. With that being said, you can take that same glass container there, heat it up until it melts, and then form another glass with it. Same with metals. We get the ore, then guess what? We heat it up, melt it, make a shape with it. Do the same thing again with metal. Heat it up, make another new shape with it. I'm doing the same thing just with plastic. Heat is the universal degrader in this universe, in this world.
So you're reverse engineering, correct?
I'm reverse engineering plastic.
Okay, got you. So for those who don't know, can you explain what reverse engineering is?
Reverse engineering is essentially just going backwards on what has been created. So you're destroying it and returning it to its original form. Plastic is made of crude oil. Plastic is like the solid form of crude oil, kind of like how ice is a solid form of water. But plastic is extremely stable. It's on the chemical level, the chemistry here, the hydrocarbon bonds in plastic are very, very long. That's why it's non-biodegradable. That's why bacteria cannot break it down, algae cannot break it down, fungus cannot break it down, because the bonds are so long, correct? So in order for us to break it apart and turn it back into its original form and reverse engineer, we have to break those bonds. And the only thing that can degrade those bonds is heat. So we use the process of pyrolysis, which is heating something up in the absence of oxygen, which is very important because we are not burning the plastic. In order to burn something, you need to have oxygen.
My bad. I'm just looking at the comments, making sure everybody's understanding what you're saying. So they do. They understand what you're saying. This one girl is like, it's like uncooking an egg. Yes. It's like uncooking an egg.
Yes, perfectly.
Yes.
Perfect analogy there.
Yeah. Yes. Perfect. All right. So I just want to make sure everybody in the live just is keeping up with us, because I already know. I'm just asking these questions so that other people can know. Because, you know, me and you, we have long-ass, deep conversations anyway. Yeah. So, with that being said, what you were just saying, reverse engineering. Okay, so you can reverse engineer anything?
I can reverse engineer anything organic.
Anything organic. Okay. What about reversing anything inorganic? Is that even possible?
We already do that when we take like a metal cup and turn it into a different metal. Like a different metal thing. So it's just metal recycling.
Okay, cool. So you're telling me if you put like two metals together, like gold and silver, you can like separate them back to the original state.
Through heat. So heat is universally the way to do things.
Okay, so that's the key component that you need to reverse engineer or take things apart. Okay, cool. Perfect. So the next question will be this. How much did it cost you to do what you just did at your mom and dad house?
Great question there. Great question. So I reused as many parts as possible. I took microwave emitters. So first of all, my machine operates off of microwaves. Microwaves create the heat to heat up the plastic amount machine. That is why it's so efficient. Now, I would go to the scrapyard, my local scrapyard, and literally get microwaves people would throw away and take the parts out of them to save money. I use 2 propane tanks to make the holding tank for my reactor. So I bought as little new parts as possible with my machine. And my machine I built at my parents' house, I would say cost about $10,000, my Mark IV, which was my best and biggest and most innovative machine.
Okay. So, oh yeah, by the way, she said, "Oh my God, thank you." So she understands better now.
Excellent.
You answered her question. So what you just said stood out to me. So basically, you said it wasn't even about the money when you did it at your parents' house. It was about taking the things that you already had and using that to create what you have right now.
Right.
So basically what you're saying is that the government could easily do this shit with a microwave.
Exactly. I did it at my parents' yard. This can easily be implemented.
So anybody could do this with their microwave. That's what you're saying?
Yes and no. You cannot. If you go take plastic and put it in your microwave, if you guys notice, almost every single microwave safe container is made of plastic. Plastic is what we consider microwave transparent. And I'll say a very scientific term here for people who may be radio engineers.
Wait. Before you get into that, somebody asked, can you do it with food waste? Something like bones. Would you be able to do it with bones?
Bones are mostly inorganic. They're mostly minerals. Inside of bones, there's bone marrow, which has some organic remnants. So there would be a very small amount of energy recovered from bones, but not much.
So you're saying that the fossil fuel shit is capped. They're not taking dinosaur bones and making oil with that.
Well, that is
No, go ahead.
I'll say it like this.
Let the people know.
I'll say it like this, right? The crude oil that we mine from the earth does not come from dinosaurs. It comes mostly from algae. I'll say it like that.
So all you niggas out there,
it comes mostly from algae.
So all you niggas out there that think that nigga dinosaurs, nigga, they taking dinosaur bones, nigga. When they tell you about fossil fuel, nigga, all right, nigga, it's not happening. Okay, we need to grow up as a people. And grow the fuck up.
Let's break it down like this. Crude oil is an organic compound. That's why it can break down in stuff to begin with. That's why we can burn it. Because, once again, I said, you can't burn minerals. For something to be a fossil, it has to be a bone. And if it's a bone, it's mostly a mineral. And if it's mostly a mineral, there's very little organic content to extract from it. But if you take something like algae is literally organic. It's literally a plant. It literally has organic compounds in it. So there's no way that all of our crude oil came from bones. It came from plant mass.
So you're saying that the crude oil, it comes from algae. It doesn't come from bones, dinosaur bones.
No.
So you heard it from the scientists, folks. Ain't no way in hell. When y'all hear the news saying that, oh, we running out of fossil fuel, running out of bones and all this other bullshit, they capping. So it comes from algae. So right. Okay, cool. So since we know that it comes from algae, right? Could sea moss be used as a form of fuel of oil?
Yes, it can. Like I said, any type of plant you put in there, I've done it before. I have YouTube videos of it. I've literally
we can use sea moss as gas.
Yes, I've literally put grass in there and made natural gas out of grass.
Grass. Okay, well, grass, my nigga. Y'all hear this? Y'all can use the grass on your lawn, in your backyard as oil. This is what the government is trying to stop. They might delete my fucking Instagram after this.
Now let me reiterate. Let me stop you there, because I'll tell you this right here. We spoke earlier about why plastic is not biodegradable, because the hydrocarbon bonds are so long. Things that are biodegradable have shorter bonds, very short bonds. For something to be an oil, like gasoline, diesel, jet fuel, it has to have kind of medium, semi-long bonds, right? Gas from grass and from food waste and all these things that are normally biodegradable have too short of bonds to make oil. But the fuel that we get from these things is gaseous fuel. So we get natural gas from grass, from food.
Somebody asked, Julian. Somebody asked, what about weed?
I see that. Yes. literally smoking gas. Literally now.
You niggas are smoking gas.
Literally.
Bruh. That is hella funny. All right, so we can use weed. So now that means the cannabis industry is going to have a super
For
explosion
all their waste,
if they get a hands.
take natural gas out of it.
So if they get their hands on your invention, they can literally become a oil company, a gas company.
Yes, they can produce natural gas. Yes.
So that means the dudes out there in the farms growing weed, they can now literally become a legitimate oil company.
Well, like I said, I will reiterate. When you have something in there like a plant that is naturally biodegradable, it's not oil. It's
just
natural
going.
gas.
They all about to go grow hella weed now, trying to turn that shit Bruh. Okay, so yeah, let's keep this going. This is good. So number one, anything that's inorganic, right? It can't be turned into oil.
No.
But anything organic can be turned into oil.
Yes.
From grass to weed to bananas to whatever.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, cool. So basically what you're doing is you just need to raise the money. So you just need $1 million for it to be like the vision that you see. But okay, let's say if you wasn't to get $1 million, let's say if you was to get like half of that, like $500,000, would you still be able to do it?
I would. It wouldn't be quite where my vision is, but
oh shit, hold on, I can't
look,
hear you.
like I said,
Hold on.
I have your ambition. I will make whatever I get work. You're paused on my end.
All right, can
There
you
you
hear
go.
me
You're
now?
back. You're good.
Yeah, because like we dropping a lot of signs, so Instagram is like,
yeah. The frequencies start to get a little bit iffy.
Yeah. So, okay. Do you remember what I asked you?
Yeah, you asked me if I had like half of what my goal is, would I be able to do it? And I said yes, absolutely, I could. And I said that ultimately, no matter how much I get, I am going to do it. I'm going to make it work. I will not be stopped. I will make it happen, no matter what.
Okay, perfect. That's great. Hold on. Somebody said, bro, what you're talking about is groundbreaking intervention. I would not want any elites as investors. Oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if the elites invest. I mean, if they don't invest, they're going to lose. They're going to have no choice but to invest. How much money can a machine make a day? The 100K machine, how much money a day can it produce? I'm going to pin that. I'm gonna pin that right there. That's a good question, BJ. That's a good question. That's what I'm gonna start doing. I'm gonna start pinning the questions.
So that 100K machine, my estimations are for it to process 2 tons of plastic a day, which ends up making about 1.9 tons of oil, which converts to, I'll give you the math on that in a second. Of crude oil to gallons. Here we go.
Exactly. They're gonna invest sooner or later. They have to invest, or they're gonna get left behind.
So there's that amounts to about just under 600 gallons a day of oil.
A day off of a 100K machine.
Yes.
So 100,000 gets you how much? What?
600 gallons a day.
Bumbleclot. You hear that, folks? You hear that, folks? And that's without going into the ocean, all those boats, all those machines drilling into the fucking ground, going to war, blowing up buildings, terrorist attacks. That's all that crazy shit they be doing. We could literally create a machine for $100,000 and get 600. Yes, 600. Yes, yeah. You got the number right. 600 gallons a day. So do the math on that. How many gallons is that in a year?
That yeah, just 600 times 365,
Yeah, let's
and
big out.
we get 21,000 and wait, let me make sure I'm saying that right. No, that's 219,000 gallons a
So
year.
so in 1 year, off one machine for $100,000, you get over 200,000 gallons. Correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go, folks. There you go. So you could pump a lot of cars with that. Like, well, how many gallons it takes to fill up a car? Like what, 40 gallons?
Yeah, about 40. So let's divide that by 40 and see how many cars we'll fill in a year. We'll fill 5,475 cars.
Yes. Yeah, BJ just said so it's 1K a day. Yeah. Yeah, it's 1K a day. So he said you making 365K a year on one machine. Yes. Yeah, so your $100,000 investment, you already made back your investment in 1 year. I hope y'all doing the math out there, folks. This man is printing money. They talking about money don't grow on trees. That shit grow on the lawn,
Because we're
nigga.
tapping into energy.
That shit grow on the lawn, nigga. 40 gallons my ass. Somebody said 40 gallons my ass. More like 15, 20 gallons. Oh, so I'm saying, so like it only takes 15, 20 gallons to fill up a car. So how many gallons do it take to fill up a private jet?
Let's see. It takes about 400 gallons.
A nigga said money is trees. Money is trees.
And money trees is the
Exactly.
perfect place for shade.
Exactly. So wait, you said my bad. Because I was reading the comments.
400
Say that one more
gallons to
time.
fill up a private jet. 400 gallons.
So that means you can fill up your private jet how many times in a year on 200 gallons?
547 times.
547 times.
You heard it
You can
here.
fill up your private jet. You hear that, y'all? Do y'all hear that? You can fill up your
540
jet.
times.
You can fill up your jet. 500. 500.
And
Fill up
47
your jet,
times.
nigga. Nigga. Off grass, nigga. Off grass.
Whoa, no, not off of grass, because if you want to get oil, it has to be off of plastic.
Oh, got you.
Yeah,
So not off
now,
grass.
if
Off plastic.
you use gas, or if you use grass or food, you would get natural gas out of it, which is the gaseous fuel, kind of like propane, right? And that's mainly used for, there's cars that run off of that, in like trucks, and also they mainly use natural gas in our energy plants to create energy, generators.
Okay, cool. So you could use the grass for a car.
Yeah, because they make cars that run off of natural gas. Yes.
Got you. Okay, cool. But you can't use the grass to power the jet.
No, because grass does not create oil.
Got
Only plastic and tires create oil, and motor oil creates oil. That's
Oh, okay. So you're talking about this type of plastic.
Yes.
Got you. Okay, cool. All right. So my next question will be this: now that we know how much you can make off of 100K machine or whatever, right? So really, it would just only take $100,000 for you to do what you need to do.
Well, that the machine is 100,000, but there's a lot of other things outside of the machine, like the property lab space, and that goes into the rest of.
That's what equals to $1 million.
Yeah, because all of that stuff is very expensive, because you need to have certain permits and things in place to even build this machine legally somewhere.
Oh, and that's why it takes $1 million.
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever thought about like partnering up with like a cannabis club, since we scratched that surface, since we know that the weed could be used?
I actually haven't, but I have spoken with farmers, and farmers tell me all the time, we have absolute tons of plant waste that we just have to end up kind of throwing away. And I'm like, well, you can shred it up and put it in the machine, and not only will you, of course, get your natural gas out of it, but let me tell you guys something, because we didn't talk about this yet. We put the plastic in the machine, right? We get the oils out, but what's left of the plastic in the machine at the end, right? Like, what happens to it, right? The plastic becomes pure, solid carbon. It returns to what we all are and what everything is, pure solid carbon. And anything you put in there, all that will be left of it is pure solid carbon. And that solid carbon actually can be turned into biochar and is an absolutely amazing fertilizer for anything.
Okay. Well, somebody asked a very interesting question. They said, plastic is oil, and fuel and organic material would be just fuel? Not oil?
Well, fuel is organic, so you can actually. That's why we're able to break. You can break down fuel into. If you put enough heat under fuel, like gasoline, you turn it into a complete vapor.
Okay, got
You
you.
can break it.
Okay, because that's what she wanted to. That's what she wanted to know.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what else somebody said. Somebody said, let's pin his comment. He said, let's talk conversation. How much oil produced from one head of bananas, for example? Okay, I don't really know what he mean by
I
that.
think he's
I guess he's
talking about how much oil we can make from, like, I don't know what a head of bananas is, but let's just say a ton of bananas, like in terms of weight. As I said, bananas are a food product. They will only create natural gas, but they will produce a lot of it.
okay. I got you. So a ton of bananas. It would take a ton of bananas to create 1 gallon of gas.
You cannot create oil from plants. You cannot create,
Yeah.
in the machine, it only creates actual oil, like gasoline, diesel, from jet fuel, from plastic and tires or motor oil, things that have a very long hydrocarbon bond chain.
Okay. They getting reckless in the comments. This nigga talking about, can I fuck it?
Well, hey, you know what? You can, and your parts will turn into fuel. So, you know.
All right. Let's see what other questions they got. If not, I'm gonna go back to asking you some questions. Let's see. Couldn't the argument be made that since you can make so much, what's this, UCH oil with the amount of plastic we have, oil won't be valuable? Oh, okay. Basically, what he's saying is, will will this not be valuable anymore? Will plastic not be valuable anymore?
It's going to do the contrary. Plastic will be extremely valuable. It'll be more valuable than it ever was before because, you know, nobody cares about turning a plastic bottle into another bottle. Who cares? Let's just make another bottle out of fresh plastic. But to turn an already existing waste product into oil, into a commodity, and just the most valuable thing on the planet to the world, and we literally go to wars over, that is absolute value.
Got you. So, oh yeah. So basically, you're saying that the price of the oil that we're using, that shit will drop, and then the price of plastic will go sky high.
No, the price of plastic won't go sky high because you know what's going to happen? Because
What's
there's a
gonna
way to
happen?
actually deal with plastic waste. There won't be all of these permits and regulations on how much plastic can be produced from oil from the plastic companies. So they're going to be able to produce a ton more plastic and not get regulated or taxed for it. So then the price of plastic is going to go down.
Okay, perfect. So BJ got another good question. He says, how much does it cost a day to run a machine?
So I can only give you numbers on my past machine that I built in my parents' backyard because I don't have the dig machine yet. So my past machine, on a daily run, a 5-hour batch, would take 25 kilowatt hours to operate. So for those of you that want to know, that's about the amount of energy consumption as a dryer. You're paused there.
All right, can you see me?
Yeah, we're good. We're back.
Yeah,
We're
Julian, can you
back.
see me?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Because I was about to say, there go Instagram hating again. All right.
Of course.
So, okay, so how much? Wait. So how much does it cost to run it at your parents' house?
It was 25 kilowatt hours a day.
Okay, so what that would be for the dummies out there that don't understand?
And so a kilowatt hour in an average in America is about 16 cents a kilowatt hour. So that's about $4 a day.
$4 a day. You heard that, BJ? It took $4 a day to run his machine at his mom's house. So, like, how big is that though? How big is that machine?
That machine is about the size of a dinner table.
Oh, that's pretty big. Pretty big machine. And how many gallons of gas was you able to produce off that?
My biggest run I got. My biggest run at one time, I got a gallon out of one run.
Oh, $4. So, I'm running the machine for $4 a day. You was able to get a gallon. How fast?
It's like I said, it takes 5 hours for each batch.
So only took 5 hours for you to get a gallon of gas,
Yes.
or $4.
Yes.
Okay, well there you go, y'all. There you go. The math is mathing. Let me see. Third world countries with those plastic dump sites would be litty. Yes, you're right. How many gallons does that machine produce? Oh yeah, we already answered that. Wait. Yeah, how many gallons? It produce 1 gallon a day, or it produce?
Well, yeah, the machine I had could produce up to 1 gallon a day, but we want to produce well, what was the number? It was let me go back here.
It was
Uh
like 600 gallons a
600,
day.
about
Oh,
under 600 gallons a day, just under 600 a day. For the big
so
machine.
your goal, got you. So your goal is to have machines that produces
Well,
600 gallons a day, and
here's
then
the thing.
yeah,
We're just talking about this next machine I'm building. But the machine I actually want out there in the world is going to be even more optimized. And I personally want my machines that I'm actually selling to small large businesses to produce 1,000 gallons a day, at least.
yeah. So it sound like you need a manufacturer, because you know what you're doing, but to get it to that level, you'll just need to talk to a manufacturer
Exactly.
that can actually, yeah, that can get your vision the right way, because you got the
Yeah,
blueprint. Have you tested the emissions long term? Oh yeah, so you probably new to the chat or whatever. But yes, he's already tested it. But you know what? Answer it again for him. For the new person that just came in.
absolutely, absolutely. So the emissions, if you were to take raw crude oil and burn it, the emissions would be absolutely horrible. They're toxic, very bad for everything. But yet we can take that same toxic crude oil, put it into a refiner, put it through catalytic reforming and other filters to then make it gasoline that you can put into your car. And by the time it comes out the exhaust, it's pretty much just CO2 and water vapor. And what I'm saying is the plastic oil that we get right from the machine, yes, it has these things in it that are toxic, but we can put it through the same processes which already exist to make it so by the time it goes to your engine and to your catalytic converter in your car, the exhaust is only basically CO2 and water vapor. So the emissions are pretty much going to be the exact same as already existing gasoline and diesel and jet fuel.
Someone asked, how much money did it take to finish the machine at your parents' house?
10,000.
$10,000. Hold on. That's what she asked. Whoop. All right, so
And that was
$10,000. You hear that, y'all? It
10,000
took only.
span of time, right? Because I built the machine and I would add improvements to it over time, right? So I guess you said how much did it cost to finish it? To actually finish to finish it was 10,000. But if you're saying just building the machine, just building it cost probably about 3,000. But I added about $7,000 of upgrades to it in its lifespan.
And the lifespan, this is from 17 to 20.
What was that?
You started at 17,
Well,
and you was
my
complete.
latest machine was Mark IV, right? So I had many different renditions before that, like a Mark One, Mark Two, Mark Three, up to Mark Four. Mark Four, its lifespan was about probably I would say it was about half a year before it actually ended up being destroyed.
Okay, yeah, so that makes sense. So basically, you went through trial and tribulation before you got to your complete machine.
Yes.
So how many? Okay, so how many times did it fail before you completed it, like
Well,
perfected it?
for those people here on TikTok, they sure remember I had my Mark III reactor literally exploded in my face, and it blew up
Oh
like a
shit!
cannon from every war.
God damn!
And my machine before that Mark II was very inefficient. You can actually find it on my first video on YouTube or my second video I ever uploaded. You see my Mark II, very inefficient, not good at all. Mark One, same thing, very inefficient, not good at all. We didn't actually truly get good into Mark III, but then Mark III blew up. So then had to build Mark IV, which is my best and most efficient machine.
And for everybody out there that want to see his progress, because I looked at that shit. You can go to his YouTube, and he literally has all of his videos from start to where he's at now. What's the name of your YouTube?
NatureJab. NatureJab.
NatureJab. I'm gonna tag it in the comments.
Appreciate that.
NatureJab. All right, let me see. At I don't know why it ain't popping up when I put NatureJab.
It needs
It's
to be
like that,
one,
right?
no space between the nature and jab. Yeah, there we go. Cool.
NatureJab and NatureJab. Okay, cool, perfect. So there you go, y'all. Y'all check that out. You feel me? If y'all don't, y'all could click this little button up the top and see NatureJab again. All right, so yeah, let's move forward. So after going through your test and damn near dying because it exploded, was it like a big explosion or like a little explosion?
It was not that big of an explosion, but I was so close to it that my ears were ringing, and I was shaking literally. I was not in the projectile range of it. So what happened was the lid of it blew off, and it was pretty much like a cannonball, and I was on the side of it. So I was fortunate. If I was in front of it, I probably would not.
Uh, uh, got you. So the side of the energy needed to come out.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. So after your trials and tribulations, what age do you say that you perfected it at? Was it at 20 or 19?
I definitely, well, I perfected it at 19 for sure because, like I said, by the time I reached the age of 20, my best machine had been destroyed by a lab fire.
Your best machine was destroyed by a lab fire.
Yes.
Get into that. Get into that.
So I had my machine running off of 220 volts, and I had tons of circuitry done where I had 4 microwave transformers, which produce a ton of power to power my machine, right? And those transformers get very high and overheat very easily. So I had them cooled by oil, right? But something had happened one day where I was running my machine, and then one of the transformers shorted out and started to arc on itself in the middle of the oil, which then caught the oil on fire. And when the oil caught on fire, it did not go out, and it just kept going and spreading, and it ended up ultimately destroying the electrical parts of the machine.
Okay, so all right, wait. Am I still paused?
You're good.
Okay, cool. So basically, it was an accident. It wasn't like something that was tampered with.
No, I don't believe so. I believe it was an absolute accident, and I take full responsibility for the fact. But ultimately, the reason why the accident even happened to begin with was because of my limited resources. If I had a proper industrial microwave power supply, that would have never been an issue to begin with.
Got you. Okay. So you saying it was just lack of having the right setup.
Yeah,
That's why it
yeah.
happened.
Because like I said, I literally was using parts from actual microwave ovens, which were never designed to be used like this. Microwave ovens
Okay,
at
cool.
most run for 10 minutes at once. I was running this thing for 5 hours.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. So that's another thing I want to ask you. So with the machine, right? What is that machine powered off of? The machine that takes $100,000 to build.
Electricity.
So okay, so that machine is powered off electricity, and the machine that's powered off electricity, could that possibly be a hazard?
I believe that electricity is the safest way to operate the machine. You know why? Because unlike if it was
Okay,
operating off
go ahead.
like fire, with electricity, you can turn it off in a second with a flip of a switch.
Mm, okay. So with a flip of a switch, so what about windmills? Could windmills power the machine?
Windmills, solar panels, dams, everything. Any form of renewable electricity can power this machine.
Okay, got you.
BJ Clark
So
asks, you can also run it off of the natural gas it produces. Yes, you can.
perfect then. Hold on, let me post that right there. Hold on. Tag that right there. So basically, what you're saying is that it's safer running off electricity, but why not run it off of water?
Well, ultimately, if you're running it off of water, you're running it off of electricity in the end because you have to take that water, then split the hydrogen from it, and put that hydrogen into a generator, which will then burn it and create electricity.
Very good. I just wanted to see what you was gonna say. Oh, he's on his toes. He's on his toes, y'all. He's on his toes. All right, so okay, after that, right? With $1 million, when you get the $1 million, because we already know
Right.
you're going to get it, right?
Right.
And you use the $1 million to do what you do, are you going to want to scale it even to greater lengths? Or are you just going to just use the $1 million and then just duplicate what you
Oh,
already created? You ain't going to basically what I'm asking is, are you going to keep
we
upgrading the
are
machine?
always upgrading, just like how we as humans here are here as humans and always growing and to find our best versions of ourselves. Same with this machine. It will always be upgraded, always be innovated. I'm probably throughout my lifetime going to have hundreds of patents because this will continue to improve as the technology gets better, as I learn more things about it. So that first machine, that $1
Perfect.
million machine, is the start. We're going to build machines that are designed to go on boats.
Perfect. So basically, you're not about to just do what the oil companies did, just create something and then don't upgrade it, and just keep that same fucking pump that they've been having since fucking 1908 or whatever the fuck. So you're gonna keep upgrading it. Perfect. All right. So I pinned a question from Z1. You can read it out loud if you want to.
About using magnets to power the machine. What about using magnets to power the machine? Let me tell you guys something, right? Microwaves operate off of electricity. So no matter what the source of it is, ultimately it has to be turned into electricity. Now, I've seen such things as magnet generators. However, the science on those is still being developed. So can it be done? Yes, but once those magnetic generators have to reach a state where they're properly suitable to operate something so big.
Let's see if anybody else has any questions. All right, well, we answered BJ question. We answered Z1. Yeah, that was a good question, Z1, about the magnet power. Huh. Oh, let me see. Okay, nobody got no more questions right now? Okay, cool. All right, so I'm going to ask you another question then. So, what else do you want to accomplish outside of this goal that you have?
Well, of course, the goal I have is to change the world's perspective on waste and to get the oceans clean. But after that, my next goal, well, my goal, my whole life has always been to inspire people. Because as I always say, my days are numbered. I can only do so much as an individual man. But if I can inspire people, it is an exponential effect, a domino effect, a snowball effect, where this same passion and energy is going to live in perpetuity, eternally throughout the world, forever. Right? So if I can inspire people, that's the best thing that I can possibly do. But ultimately, after this invention, I want to go on and make inventions that continue to incorporate nature and the natural laws of this universe.
Somebody asked a good question. I'm going to pin it. There you go. Read it out loud for us, boss man.
The one from BJ? Oh, I see it. If you were to use the machine to power itself, how much would be left over? Great question there. So I'll say it like this. The machine, we said, we just talked about how the machine I had at my parents' house, which by the way was extremely inefficient and not as good as it could be, right? It consumes 25 kilowatt hours of energy to run, of electricity. Now, we've done the math. Out of all the products I got out from a 25 kilowatt hour run, we got 48.8 kilowatt hours of output energy. So if I were to run the machine off of the products it generated, which would be 25, how much would be left over? Pretty much 25 would be left over.
So it sounds like to me, we might as well have the machine power itself.
Right, I agree. Because then you don't have to pay for electricity to operate it.
So how much would that cost to have the self-powering machine?
Well, it would certainly cut the bill in half because electricity is the biggest expense in this machine, and the only cost would get a generator that's big enough to be able to run the machine.
Yeah, because that was my next question. So, like, if you have to use electricity, for example, to run it, how much does it cost to run the machine off electricity?
Well, as I said, for the machine at my parents' house, which is the one I can speak on because that's the biggest one I made, it was $4 or 25 kilowatt hours, right? But as the machine gets bigger, because 25 kilowatt hours can be run off of a small generator, right? But as the machine gets bigger and bigger, you got to get a bigger and bigger generator if you want the machine to run off of its own things.
Okay, cool. And yeah, I know you like, damn, they keep asking me the same question. It's just because we got so many people that keep joining the live.
Look, that's my life, man. I go live and I literally say the same thing over and over, and it's okay. You know why? Because I love educating people. Because knowledge is what's been withheld from us. So if I can teach just one person something new every time I repeat myself, I'll repeat myself a billion times.
Okay, cool. So, okay, I just pinned the next person. I think they're new to the live.
Let's talk about emissions. This fuel generated, what are the emission levels after use? Has it been tested? Is it safe? I'm not laughing at your question, by the way. I'm just laughing at twice, but that's okay. I will answer it gladly again for you. So, if we take crude oil out of the grounds,
It doesn't pollute. It doesn't fucking pollute. Stop coming in the live asking the same damn question. Well, I thought this was gonna be another goddamn another question. Y'all motherfuckers didn't ask the damn same question.
In short, let me just sum it up. Let me sum it up because I'm not gonna explain this whole thing.
Sum it up.
Keep it
Sum
short.
it up.
To keep it short, we already have technology to make it completely safe and the same levels of emissions as the fuels already run in this world.
Okay, hold on. Somebody asked a new question. Okay, this is a new question. All right, let's do this. Is there a purification process involved preparing the plastic? Does the oil have the ability to change chemically?
I like that question. I like that. So,
yes, it's new.
So yes, in a lot of pyrolysis plants, they always say, in order to get the best results, you need to make sure the plastic is clean and dry. And that's always the best, but let's be real. If we're getting oil out of the ocean, it would not be either clean or dry. So fortunately, here's the thing. We put any type of plastic in the machine, no matter how dirty it is, right? It's going to produce oils, which are tons of things because it has dirt in there too. We just have to refine the oil, which we had to do anyway. And once we refine the oil, it'll be just as clean. So it really doesn't matter what is on the plastic or whatever, because we have processes to refine the end oil product anyway.
Did that answer your question, boss man? Can we get like 100 tag 100 emoji if that answers your question?
And then
all right, so
then also, doesn't the oil have the ability to change chemically? Yes, through distillation we can change it chemically. There are also hard chemical methods, like literally putting like lye in there, hard chemical refine it, right? And these are processes that we already do on current crude oil. So like I said, like the biggest innovation and the biggest hurdle was just making the machine. Everything else already exists in this world to handle it.
Exactly. Fuck the pin Z1, because he be saying some real nigga shit. All right, all right, boo.
If you knew,
so everybody comes to the.
Oh, okay.
All right, so everybody that comes to the everybody new to this live, read this goddamn comment right here. All right, everybody. Okay. So is there any other questions that I didn't ask you that you would like people to know?
Let me think about what let me ask my people on TikTok. What are some of the most popular questions that you guys have about this that I have not already answered 3 times?
He said I haven't answered 3 times. Oh my
god. Let's see. Where they're asking that I haven't already answered. This guy said you're still creating gasoline. How's it not polluting the atmosphere? Because after it comes out the car, it's just CO2 and water vapor, and CO2 can be captured by trees and algae. Let's see. What else? What is the... Okay, so this person asked this question. I'm going to clarify this for the last time. This guy said, what is the gas product of burning this plastic fuel? Oh, okay. So I thought he was saying burning the plastic, because we're not burning the plastic. So I already mentioned what the gas product is, what the emissions are. So pretty much everybody's just asking the same questions I've already answered 3 times, pretty much. The most popular question.
Okay, hold on, wait. I'm about to